What's up, guys? This is Beards and Bikes, episode number 3. And we're going to talk to you guys about 5 ways to convince your wife to let you buy a motorcycle.
What? That's not what we talked about.
No, we're not talking about that.
Are you kidding me?
We're not talking about that, and I'll tell you why. You don't need to convince your wife to let you buy a motorcycle. First of all, it's sexism. Because if that was reversed, and it was
If it was shoes, they'd just be done.
Right. But if it was 5 ways to convince your husband to let you buy anything, the feminist group would be going crazy. They'd be like, that's sexist, women, blah, blah, blah. So if you flip it around, that's sexist.
And then you get Mitt Romney, who's like this guy.
Right. Picture of Mitt Romney right there. I gotta remember to put that in there. No, actually, the video that we're doing is 5 ways to
tell your wife
or surprise your wife that you just bought a motorcycle. Let's do it.
So the first decision you have to make, we did say tell, is either tell her or you don't tell her. But we're gonna assume for this session that you told her.
You tell her. And
the first one is you're with her in person and you sit her down and you say something like, or maybe you don't sit her down, but you say something like, hey, you know what would you think about if, like, maybe I bought a motorcycle? Or would it be funny? Would it be funny if I bought a motorcycle? Wouldn't that be funny? And she probably just says no, because it wouldn't be funny to her. It'd be funny to your buddies when you're in the doghouse for the next 6 weeks.
Great for your buddies.
But
I'd like to tell her in a joke. You know what I mean? Like, hey baby, knock knock. Who's there? Hayabusa. or knock knock. Who's there? We gotta bump up my life insurance. You know, that's what it's really all about.
So the flip side of that would be number 2. Number 2 would be you act like it's the most serious thing on earth. It's the gravest thing that's ever taken place.
And you take it very seriously. And to help us with that, I found a nice Wikipedia WikiHow listing called How to Tell Your Good Friend You're Dying. And surprisingly enough, this is really good stuff. To start off, he or she will be shocked and upset that you kept this information secret, while you may be afraid of telling them for fear of scaring them. There we go. There's a drug bust over there.
Yeah, bad news for somebody.
Choose a pleasant and peaceful place to break the news. A local garden.
Or maybe at home.
Maybe at home. 3, start by telling them what a great friend they are.
And then if this is, you're assuming you're telling your wife, you're probably going to want to hide the knives and lock up the guns before you tell her.
Right. Be straightforward. Do not beat around the bush. Use clear language. Tell your bestie, I have lung cancer. And we would replace that with, I have purchased a motorcycle. And the doctor says it's inoperable. So you would replace that with, and the mechanic says it's extremely operable. and then you say, I am dying. You would leave that the same.
But anyway, so that would be one way to do it, is just act like it's the most serious thing in the world and then be like, oh, I bought a motorcycle. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it works out for you.
Right.
The third way, which would save you the trouble of dealing with her that day, or at least that moment, is call her up, say, hey babe, how you doing? Oh, good. What are you doing today? Oh, you know, the usual, blah, blah, blah. And say, well, hope you're having a good day. Oh yeah, by the way, I bought a motorcycle. Bye. And hang up the phone. Now you told her, you're good, your hands are clean.
Man,
I did not tell you.
She knows. Another thing you can add into that is you're telling her, but you're not really, you're kind of a little more indirectly telling her, is you give her some horrible fake news. You call her up and you're like, listen, your mom died, and she's crying, and you know, it's something horrible. The house blew up, I ran over the dog, whatever, something horrible. And then, you know, you want to bring her down. You want to bring her down. And then say, hey, good news, nothing happened. Bam, you bring her back up, and then you throw it in there. I bought a motorcycle. Her feelings are gonna be all over the place. It's a good time to throw that in there. Think about it.
Nah, and none of these can I recommend at all if you value your life and your marriage. But
I've used all of them. No. My wife told me specifically, she's like, you can do this video. Like, she would stop me from doing a video. But she's like, just make sure everyone knows that I've never stopped you from buying any motorcycle ever.
which is awesome.
Which is awesome.
That's why you married her.
That's exactly why I married her. I told her in the beginning, I'm like, I've had motorcycles way before I've had you. So, you know what I mean? Motorcycles are here to stay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, number 4 would be just ride it home. Just, you know she's at home, you already have the bike, you get on it,
roll it up
and
on
you
there.
roll into the driveway, and you wave and say, hey honey, bought a motorcycle, and the fallout is, I don't know what the fallout is.
There's no fallout if you're doing a donut or doing a burnout.
Or if you live like on a main road, like riding a wheelie pass.
Right, yeah, you know, hey baby, wah, 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 you know what I mean? There's no fallout. You can't hear anything. It's like does a tree fall in the woods? Can you hear it? That same question can be asked if you surprise your wife with a motorcycle and you're doing a burnout and she's yelling at you
And you can't hear it.
Is
she yelling at
Is
you?
it really happening?
Yeah.
And this is, it's an age-old question. Theologians, philosophers have been, struggling with this for a long time. We'll give you the answer. No, they you can't hear it. It didn't happen. Fact.
Well, so anyway, so those are the 4 from the side of you chose you're going to tell her.
Right.
And then if you go to the other side, this is not quite as long as of a list, but let's say you're going to opt to not tell her. And so number 1, you just kind of act big and bad. You're at the dealership or with your buddy or whatever the bike's at, and you're like, I'm not going to tell my wife. I'm just going to buy it. Yeah. And that's how you think you're going to roll, which, yikes. I mean, good for you, I guess, for that 5 minutes that you feel cool. But no matter what you do, maybe you like rent a storage unit and you're storing it there, or you're keeping it at someone else's house, or whatever you're doing, eventually she's gonna find out. I mean, I got bad news for you.
I personally love that idea. I think it's the best, one of the best ones, unless your wife's as cool as mine. And this is why. You rent a storage unit. You get a second cell phone for all your buddies who want to ride. You're like, listen, don't call my regular number, call my second cell phone.
Your burner.
Your burner phone. You know what I mean? You start putting on like different perfume every time you want to ride the motorcycle, and all these signs are going to lead to you are cheating on your wife. She's going to confront you about this. You're cheating on me. All these signs are riding up. My girlfriends are telling me you're cheating on me, and that's when you reveal
you bought a motorcycle.
You bought a motorcycle.
Not that big a deal.
It's no big deal. Oh, I thought you were cheating on me. You just bought a motorcycle. Oh, that's awesome. By this point, she has left you and froze your accounts, but she's not mad that you bought a motorcycle anymore.
It's just the devil's in the details. It's not no big deal.
So I personally like that idea.
But the consummation of that is the truth is going to find you out. As is in any situation, if you choose to not tell her up front, she's going to find out, and she's probably going to be 1,000 times more pissed you didn't just tell her.
She's going to notice the helmet hair. She's going to notice the leather chaps. And she's going to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much all we got this time.
Yep.
Thanks for checking out episode 3 of Beards and Bikes. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And as always, brought to you by Srkcycles. We're not salesmen, we're just riders. See you guys next time.
And we're going to open up a thing where if you guys want for us to answer questions, at the end of every episode, we're going to start answering customers' questions. So throw your customer questions in the comments. All right, guys. See you later.